It started with a meeting. Everyone was there. Scarecrow said he had a plan, that together we could take you out. And Gotham would be ours.
Over my dead body.
I believe that was the idea.
Remnants of Gotham, I have messages for you all. To the vandals who stayed behind to pick the still warm flesh from Gotham's bones, have your fun. You are under my protection. To the cowards quaking behind the police department's walls, you will not be spared. And to Batman, I have already won. Emptied your city with a vial of toxin and a few threatening words. That's how little the safety you provided was worth. And when the dawn comes, when Gotham lies in ruin and I turn my gaze to the world beyond, the legend of the Batman will be worth nothing at all.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Izzy's Retro Video Game Reviews. And on today's episode, I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite games, and that is Batman Arkham Knight. Now, I know what you guys are asking yourself. Why are you doing this under Izzy's Retro Video Game Reviews? Well, the answer is simple. Because Batman Arkham Knight, believe it or not, this year it turns 8 years old. It came out in 2015. And man, I remember seeing the commercial for this and like the trailer and being so excited, man. I sent it to my friend Sam, and who's a huge Batman and video game fan, and we just like freaking marked out over it. I mean, and this is a very, very dark Batman game, and I don't mean dark in the sense of the setting. I mean the whole tone of the game is dark. I mean, because of course you had Arkham Asylum, and Arkham City. Its two predecessors in the series. The setting was dark, but what do you call it? Not as dark as this. I mean, yeah. By this point, Joker. I remember. I don't know if you guys have played Arkham City, but I'm at the end of Arkham City. Joker essentially dies from Scarecrow's fear toxin, and in this one, not only does Batman have to deal with Scarecrow, but Batman has to deal with the aforementioned Arkham Knight, who's Jason Todd. And if you know Batman lore, Jason Todd was killed by the Joker, and then he has had several Jason Todd has been Robin, and but then was killed by Joker, and then also he became Red Hood, and then now he is the Arkham Knight. But you don't find that out till the end of the game, and I'm sorry for spoiling it, but it's been 8 years, and if you haven't played by now, I'm sorry, and you should, because you're missing out. This is the definitive Batman game, for sure. Rocksteady has always had great has ever since they took over the Batman series. From the two that I just mentioned, Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City, to Batman Arkham Origins, which was actually no, Batman Arkham Origins wasn't made by them. Batman Arkham Origins was made by WB Montreal, and but Rocksteady took, and Batman Arkham Origins was a prequel, and I'll probably cover that in a later episode. But for right now, let's just stick to talking about Batman Arkham Knight. So what do you call it? So in this, like I said, in this Batman game, you're playing as Batman, and obviously, and unlike the previous two Batman games, where you have to kind of discover new weapons, and then you get modifications for those new weapons and stuff like that. This game pretty much starts you as the most definitive version of Batman that there is. You have all your weapons there. Your batarangs, your explosive gel for when you need to break through tough surfaces. Through explosive surfaces and find openings to rooms and stuff like that. And your cryptic sequencer to unlock doors that are otherwise inaccessible without it. And just all the Batman gadgets that you know and love that have been given to you straight from the beginning. So you still need to earn get to earn other skills for Batman, like combo modifiers and upgrades to those weapons, and stuff like that. But the core weapons themselves are given to you right at the start of the game, and that's pretty damn cool. And what do you call it? So one thing about this is that it didn't let you do in any of the other Arkham video games is you get to drive the Batmobile. Now the Batmobile is a very, very core element of Batman's arsenal. It can do so many things, and you use it quite a bit. It's not just some vehicle used to get around. You have to actually use it to navigate certain parts of the game and get certain missions done. I know for the Riddler challenges, which are a familiar element of the Arkham series, there's a whole Riddler challenge where you have to use the Batmobile to navigate one of the Riddler's traps and stuff like that. And I know there's several obstacles that the Arkham Knight puts in your way, that these huge like war tanks that the Arkham Knight puts in your way to kind of prevent you from tracking him, and he uses that as a distraction to kind of deter you from pursuing him. You need the tech of the Batmobile to kind of combat those tanks and do that. And there's a whole level where you gotta like not only level military tanks but an entire helicopter. It's ridiculous. What do you call it? But in the most awesome ways. And on top of the Arkham Knight, you also have the Scarecrow to deal with, who is threatening to unleash the Nightmare Protocol, which threatens to end and not only Gotham but the Dark Knight himself. So there's that to deal with, and then of course all the classic villains like Firefly, the Mr. Pig, the Mad Hatter, just everybody, just all hands are on deck to try and end Batman, and you gotta do what Batman does, and it's just such a great game. And I remember going. Here's a little anecdote of my Batman Arkham Asylum experience, man. I remember going to the midnight launch for Batman Arkham Asylum back in June of 2016, and it I know, and anybody who's done a midnight launch, those can be pretty difficult, especially since if the line is long, and they're not organized, and it can sometimes get crazy. But the reason why it got crazy for me is I not only could I not play it on when I got it on a midnight launch, I had to wait. I had to wait 3 days to play it because I had to go coach the games for the physically challenged the next day, which kept me away from home 3 days. So I got it on a Thursday, but couldn't play it until that Monday. So, but yeah, it was well worth the wait. I stayed away from spoilers. Well, I had to stay away from spoilers because I had no time to check Facebook or the internet or anything to see story spoilers, and it was well worth it. And like I said, Batman Arkham Knight is one of the best superhero games ever made. My favorite in the series personally is Arkham Asylum, but what do you call it? Batman Arkham Knight is definitely up there with my favorite video games ever. Not just superhero video games or anything like that, but video games in general. I love the whole Batman Arkham series, and it is just amazing. So yeah, man, you can pick it up pretty cheap now. They just re-released it on the Nintendo Switch, and the Batman Return to Arkham, which has the first two, and Batman Arkham Knight, you can also pick up very cheap now. I believe it's like $10 on digital platform, but if you want to pick it up in a physical form, you can also get it for pretty cheap. So definitely take advantage of it. You will not be disappointed. But anyway, that is gonna do it for this episode of Izzy's Retro Video Game Reviews. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.